Hey guys, what's up? I hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to the new story of r/relationship advice. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for new future videos. Let's get started. Cheers.
Stories in today's video. 1. Wife cheated on me, wants to reconcile. I 100% wanted to as well, until heavier news dropped. 2. Just found out my fiancé is cheating on me with my friend. So my wife, 30F, cheated on me, 34. She wrote a heartfelt letter to confess to me. We were going through some problems during the pandemic. We were so happy together for 8 years, got married. She started her program to study abroad for 2 years. I got stuck here in US working 2 jobs in healthcare. I've had instances where I have mishandled arguments where I yelled at her in public, forever traumatizing her. I promised to work on my emotional reactivity during conflicts. But during our great distance she had grown withdrawn from me. And it was harder to get through to her. I've had to work so hard to get her see my changes in behavior, and I stopped smoking, and that was one vice of mine that sent her over the edge. So 2 days again she wrote the heartfelt letter which revealed she cheated on me and she was remorseful for it and that it happened once. I was crushed and didn't know what to do. I was taking my time and thinking of reconciling. When I started to talk about repairing the relationship, she drops the news that she's pregnant and that it's been since April. She wants to come home to me and wants the AP to have nothing to do with the child. I was seriously ready to reconcile because I was willing to let her show me that she wanted to work on us. But the heavy news of this pregnancy is hitting different. And she is looking more remorseful than ever as I talk to her. And she's telling me that she wants to reconcile, but I don't know what I am feeling right now. Is there a specific kind therapist I can seek at this time? I have the hardest decision to make soon. Edit ****. I wanted to post the heartfelt letter here to get your opinions about it. My friends have all given me their opinions, but I want to see what you guys think. Names changed for obvious reasons. Note, she mentions someone named Sasha. Sasha is my weed connect. I used food emojis for my Venmo payments to him, make it seem I was paying back for food. She thought this was someone I was talking to behind her back. We previously had a huge fight about it. Underscore 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 underscore. My dearest husband, the only way I know how to begin this letter is to tell you how proud and happy I am to know that you're in the process of bettering yourself. I could not ask for anything more than to see my partner and best friend want to be the best version of himself. It's what I've always prayed for and have been so hopeful for all these years, and finally my prayers are being answered. Please know that although I know I cannot truly influence these decisions, I have always been here for you, day by day, by your side, just weathering the storms with you, trying so hard not to lose hope. Hopefully we can both look back on these times and let it fuel our love for each other like never before. Being so strong that we could truly weather any storm, all while avoiding them together all at the same time, because we would just be too preoccupied with being happy that we found each other again. Unfortunately, over the years I've come to realize that I haven't truly known the man I married. The process of waiting and being hopeful of change got me thinking, do I even know the real you? What is my husband like sober? The feeling of being with you for so long yet not knowing who you really are and getting this less than likable version of you, struck me to my core. Made me fearful. Got me thinking if I would ever get the chance to really know my husband for who he really is and celebrate that person for the rest of my years. Or do I just eject myself from the situation in order to keep what's left of me? The beginning of last year is when I started not only to lose hope for us but also myself. I began to lose all of me. Started to blame myself for all unfortunate events that would take place in our marriage. Your smoking habit, anger issue, yelling, you not wanting transparency and communication in our marriage, you not being mentally present. I know I am not perfect, but sadly I could go on, but this was also the time I found out about Sasha. I may know the story now, but at the time all I could picture was my husband with another woman. Taking her out to brunch, dinner, etc. In my head thinking, what more are they doing? Are there more Sashas? Since when? Why? Taking this in on top of everything I am already going through. Am I not enough? All my insecurities, depression and anxiety at an all-time high. The dream of having a beautiful life with you could no longer be pictured in my head. So I went on that whole year trying to avoid my problems and fears, which was the main reason of avoiding you, all while trying desperately to keep my head above water. Out of fear, rather than confronting you, I just checked out of our marriage. In all aspects. I figured since you have, I should too. I knew that if it didn't come from within or out of pure will, you would not change. Last year was the toughest year of my life. I am really truly surprised that I'm still here, breathing. To be in such a dark place for so long, which I am still in, I wouldn't wish it for anybody. The only solution I could find within myself was to permanently detach myself. I was mentally preparing to divorce you. My love, it's even hard to even put this into words without breaking down. I have fought for you, for us, for so long. All I needed was you to fight with me. To give me some glimmer of hope that we could turn it all around so I could give you my 100%. Just like before, but a better version. That's all I want. I want to give you my best, but it can't be a one-way street. I need you to be in it with me, giving me your 100% as well. My hopes of ever getting that were depleted. I completely spiraled out of control. One way was with alcohol. Being checked out and seeing divorce between us made me hit rock bottom. I made the biggest mistake that a partner could make. No matter how much I want to blame the mistreatment from you and thinking you were doing the same with Hala, but on a regular basis. I know this was not something you ever deserved. No one deserves. Even having the **M stances around it being it was a one-time thing, and there is no relationship, no connection till this day, even being fully recognized by both parties that it was 100% a mistake overshadowed by alcohol and recklessness. So meaningless, it's something both of us can barely recall. To the point where neither is to ever speak of it and to just move on with our lives and pretend like nothing happened. But it did, and I'm coming forward to be transparent with you because I now have hope for us that I didn't have before. I haven't exactly been the easiest to deal with. It's hard living with myself knowing that despite sticking through all these hardships, my actions could very well be what breaks us. I know at this moment you will feel a rage rush through you like no other. I would know because that's how I felt after finding out about Sasha. I let that rage marinate inside of me, slowly killing me from the inside out. Please find it in yourself to dig deep and recognize that we both have come so far just by the mere fact that we are still here. Neither of us has not given up. We are both allowing our love for each other guide us through these hard times to hopefully come out stronger than ever. You are still my only love and you always have been. Even with my mistakes, I still see no one else but you and always have. With both of us spiraling, I was fully set on divorce. Until I saw and felt a glimmer of hope from you. Which is all I needed to forget about everything in the past and move forward with you. Since day one, I have loved you with my whole being despite everything. I want to continue to love you, be your person and fulfill the vows we made. I believe that our marriage can be stronger and we can be our best versions not only for ourselves, but for each other. But the real question now is if you still want to be my person. If you will still accept me for my flaws and mistakes and be able to move forward with me. Build a beautiful life with me like we've always wanted. Before writing this letter, I have come to terms with myself that there's a chance that you will not be as forgiving as me. If you want to part ways, this is something I will fully understand. We both have literally been growing up with each other over the past decade. So much growing pains, but also so much love and laughter. Memories that will be a part of me forever and I will always be grateful for. All of it helped us grow. At least if we cannot be the best for each other. This learning process has made us want to be better for ourselves. After reading this, there's a big chance that you're going to hate me. But please know, I am opening this up to you because I still believe that you are my person, my soulmate. I truly want this to work. Especially now that I really see you, real you. The person I can really see my future with. The sober you. The calm you. I know it will take work, from both sides. But if you love me enough to see through my flaws and mistakes, I still think we can be that couple that everyone has always envied and looked up to. But if you feel you must move on from me, it's something I will try to accept over time. Been together 6 years, proposed about 3 years ago but been unable to get married due to COVID. We live in New Zealand ATM but family are in the UK so we were hoping to do it with family. So helped my so upgrade her phone noticed it said that there was 6 gigabytes worth of data in the secure folder, Samsung, and I asked her if she wanted it and that normal P***s swords aren't working for me to transfer it. So she unlocks it and I go away to continue the transfer. Any other time in my life there's no way I would have looked at what was there. But the day before she said she needed to go out for a bit, being lockdown so I thought like to go off and clear her head. But yesterday as she was leaving I hear the side gate rattle. I looked out of the toilet window and there she is, acting a little weird, expecting her to just carry on with what she was doing, but she just sort of stared at me with a smile. I sort of just look back at her thinking nothing of it and it starts to get awkward and then I notice a cooler bag. I'm like, why didn't you bring it through the house? She goes all weird and strangely does give an explanation and says something on the lines of, you know me, I'm just weird. So alarm bells ringing. Few other random things started to click together and I'm like, no C king way. She gets back later and explains herself well enough and I decided I was maybe just being silly. So yeah, phone full of videos of my so-called friend and her with picture of them kissing her playing with toys I've not even seen. I am in a bad way right now and not sure what to do. I know it's my fault I got prompted to a stressful position and I've been absent and distant and now all I want to do is fix it and I can't go through this again. My ex before I ended up in a similar situation. Edit. Just adding, unfortunately I couldn't contain myself when I found out, so she knows I know. She gave a bunch of reasons that she felt lonely and felt the spark had gone. I wasn't there for her, things like that. I was packing my bags because I just couldn't handle that she would cheat on me with someone like him, used to sell drugs, missing most of his teeth because he uses, spilt from his wife who he has a 10-year-old with because she kicked him out. But she convinced me to stay and unfortunately as I have no family here or friends good enough to stay with at that short notice I've stayed, but it's 3 a.m. now and I can't sleep. Edit 2. Sorry I'm just venting now, I should sleep but I feel like the room is spinning. So when I first met her, ironically she had not long got out of a 6-year relationship with some she described to me as jobless amongst other things and that he had cheated on her. I just want to say I consider us upstanding normal working professionals, just to paint the picture. But she was sort of a punk rocky type of girl and I'm a geeky tech guy and at this point I had been so screwed over by my ex that I've been single for about 3 years. My ex had twisted me into pushing away my family, my friends. I quit my job because I had become a depressed recluse and I genuinely to this day don't remember some things that went on at that time, like genuine blackouts in memory. I became this other person. She eventually decided after she got pregnant that she could get more money by kicking me out. I was left with nothing. I ended up staying in this abandoned old people home because it was cheap. They rent rooms to make it look lived in to deter vandals. Then I find out she had been sleeping with someone I thought was a friend and he moved in. So not only did I have no one, my friend basically took my family from underneath me. I also had a self-employed business doing IT repair work, all that gone. I eventually came to terms with things, and eventually I had to leave. I wasn't coping. I moved 4 hours away to be with family and I became a chef working for my father-in-law. 3 years go by and I'm still traveling back and forth as much as I can and threw myself into agency work as being at home, knowing my broken family state. Being a home felt like a prison, so my average weeks were 12 to 16 hours days, 7 days a week. I get to the point of basically trying to work myself to death. I really just wanted the world to end. I was paralyzed, not feeling like I could move on. I took on a job where I met the only person I know would have my back no matter what, and he was my head chef. He helped me heal my soul and I got to the point of feeling good about myself and seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Then I met my fiancée. She was exiting, just left her PR job to go traveling, not long left her ex, and I was hooked. Spent the whole day working together, couldn't keep my eyes off of her. I was just taken in by everything she had to say. When it came time to sign of the timesheets for the temps, which the head chef always did, he handed hers to me. I signed it off and handed it to her. She waited for me to ask her for her number, but I could bring myself to say the words and it got little awkward, but she left and I found her on Facebook later that day. The rest is history, as they say. She saved me, told me that my ex doesn't have the power I felt she did, would call me with my daughter on the phone but then take over and emotionally blackmail me into giving more money, and me feeling guilty did it. Fell head over heels and it was just perfect. She was planning to go traveling and not long got back from New Zealand and wanted to save up some money and head back out again, so we made a plan, worked hard and saved the money. We traveled Southeast Asia, Bali and a year around Australia. We then went to New Zealand. I started out as a chef and she managed to get work doing data entry. While working as a chef, someone there realized that actually I'm really good with IT and knew someone looking for people like me, and it was better paid and sort of better hours. This turned out to be the friend who cheated with my fiancé. Years go by. I left that IT job and kept in touch with said friend, but didn't really hang out as he was far too into drugs and things like that and made me uncomfortable. I took on a position at a global tech company and started earning the most money I've ever earned in my life doing something that I had always done self-taught. Basically, I started going through the ranks and taking on more and more, and I started to develop imposter syndrome, and it really affected my mental state. Found it hard to do the things I enjoyed in life, but I hunkered down because we had a dream of owning a house together. My fiancé was working for a charity and life seemed relatively good. Wasn't perfect, but we had a common goal, and the rest, as they say, is history.